Hello, my name is Jamaal Jones, and thank you for taking the time to look at my YouTube page. I'm the principal attorney for Jones Health Law, and we're located in Coconut Grove, which is a city or a town in Miami, Florida. I'm a health law attorney and provide various different transactional and regulatory services to healthcare providers, healthcare facilities and entities, as well as healthcare entrepreneurs. Today, I would like to discuss which business structure might be best for your medical practice. Over the years, many providers have come to my office expressing an interest in owning a medical practice, whether they're buying one or taking one over or starting one from the ground up. They may also invest in a healthcare facility or some other type of healthcare business. But during these meetings, it's important to obtain pertinent background information about the healthcare entity, followed by a discussion about some of the regulatory and licensing issues that may arise. Equally important is determining how the healthcare entity should be structured for asset protection and tax purposes. A corporate healthcare attorney like myself can determine whether it's best for you to create a corporation, an LLC, or an LLP, for example. Admittedly, some of the more complex tax issues should be discussed with an attorney that specializes in tax law. Fortunately for you, I know some of the best tax law attorneys in the state. Here's an overview of some of the basic differences between the different types of business entities. First, there's the sole proprietorship. That's an individual who does not create an entity. No taxes are imposed on the entity. Instead, the individual owner reports the income and pays the income taxes. Then you have what's called a professional corporation, or a PA. A corporation in which one or more shareholders must be licensed professionals or entities that themselves are wholly owned by licensed professionals. The PA can be taxed either as an S corporation or as a C corporation. Third, let's turn to corporations. A corporation whose owner is not limited solely to licensed professionals. Or rather, a corporation is an entity whose owner is not limited solely to licensed professionals. The corporation can be taxed either as an S corporation or as a C corporation. Now, what is a C corporation and how does it work? Unless it elects otherwise, a corporation that is a C corporation must report its own income and pay its own income taxes under Subchapter C of the Internal Revenue Code. A C corporation is also subject to Florida state corporate income tax rate at a rate of 5.5%. Any distribution of its earnings to its shareholders requires the shareholders to recognize dividend income, resulting in a second layer of taxation. Many professional C corporations attempt to avoid distributing dividends by paying all income as compensation, because although it is still taxable to the recipient employee shareholder, the C corporation gets a deduction for such compensation, resulting in one layer of taxation. If a C corporation pays excessive compensation, the IRS may treat some of the compensation as a dividend distribution and deny the deduction to the corporation with respect to such imputed dividend. Now, an S corporation. No tax generally imposed on a corporation that elects to be treated as an S corporation under Subchapter S of the Internal Revenue Code. Rather, the tax consequences flow through to the shareholder or shareholders. Each shareholder reports his or her pro rata share of the tax consequences based on his or her ownership in the S corporation and pays the income tax at his or her effective personal income tax rate. Any distribution to the shareholder or shareholders is not treated as a dividend, but rather first is a return of basis and then excess is capital gain. Provided, however, if the S corporation was formerly a C corporation within the past 10 years and had earnings and profits, then a portion of the distributions of the S corporation could be subject to tax as a dividend rather than a return of basis. Shareholder distributions in an S corporation must be made in the ratio of ownership, can be used to save payroll taxes applicable to compensation, and lack the asset protection potential of compensation payable to the head of family under Florida law. A PA generally should elect to be taxed as an S corporation, preferably from inception. If a corporation has already been taxed as a C corporation, then conversion to S corporation status must be carefully considered to ensure that the built-in gains tax on unrealized receivables can be handled through proper accrual and payment of accounts payable and compensation. Fourth, let's turn our attention to professional limited liability companies, also known as a PL. A limited liability company in which one or more members must be licensed professionals or entities that themselves are wholly owned by licensed professionals. The PL can be taxed either as a disregarded entity if there's only one member, as a partnership if there's more than one member, or as an S corporation whether it has one or more members. A PL or LLC with only one member generally is a disregarded entity, and all tax consequences are treated as occurring directly to the member. A PL or LLC with more than one member is considered to be a partnership for federal tax purposes unless both members are considered to be one entity, such as if an individual owned a revocable trust and the individual and the revocable trust are the sole members. Accordingly, no tax generally is imposed on a multi-member PL or LLC or on a partnership. Rather, the tax consequences generally flow through to the members or partners who report the income based generally on how such income is allocated among the owners pursuant to the terms of the entity's operating agreement or partnership agreement, and pay the income tax at their effective personal income tax rates. A PL or LLC or LLLP or general partnership or LLP can elect to be taxed as a corporation, in which case the entity reports or its tax consequences as a C corporation or an S corporation if that election also is made. Fifth, an LLC, which is a limited liability company whose ownership is not limited solely to licensed professionals. The LLC can be taxed either as a disregarded entity, a partnership, or an S corporation. Sixth, a general partnership is an entity that is comprised of two or more general partners. There's no written document that is necessary to create a general partnership. Seventh is an LLP, which is a limited liability partnership that is comprised of two or more general partners, which registers with the state by filing a statement of qualification. The registration provides a general liability shield for all of the partners. Eighth is a limited partnership, which is an entity comprised of at least one general partner and at least one limited partner, which is created upon the filing of a certificate of limited partnership with the state. Ninth is an LLLP, which is a limited liability limited partnership, comprised of at least one general partner and at least one limited partner, which is created by filing a certificate of limited partnership and indicates LLLP status in such certificate. The status provides a general liability shield for all of the general partners. There are a lot of other factors to be considered when deciding how to structure your medical practice or healthcare entity. You should obtain an in-depth analysis of the various business structures so that you can choose the one best suited for your needs. While it's not impossible to change from one business entity type to another, it's always best to choose the best structure from the very beginning. A capable attorney at Jones Health Law PA would be happy to guide you through this process. Again, thank you for taking the time to look at my video. My name is Jamaal Jones. If you'd like to find out more information about structuring your business entity or anything else that's related to your practice or your healthcare facility, please don't hesitate to contact me. The office phone number is 305-877-5054. You can email me at jrj@joneshealthlaw.com. You can visit our website to find out more information about myself and the firm and some of our practice areas. That website is www.joneshealthlaw.com. You can also follow us on our social networks. Instagram, you can follow us at Jones Health Law. YouTube, you can just type in Jones Health Law or Jamaal Jones and the YouTube page should pop up. You can also become a member of our group on Facebook, Jones Health Law, or connect with me on LinkedIn, Jamaal Jones. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.